Hello there, amazing people, students, and all lovers of chemistry out there. I'm super excited to be here with you on today's episode of Question for the Day. And I have some great news. We just hit 40 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you amazing people who have made this journey a great one for me thus far. It's been a pleasure and a privilege serving you with my gifts, serving you with my potentials, and serving you with all that I've got. And for those of you who are yet to subscribe, I ask you to please do me a favor by hitting that subscription button, liking this video, turning on the notification bell icon, so when more bangers like this come out, you'd be the first to be notified. So let's get into the question that we have for the day, solve it, and see what we'll get. So the question for today says, a gas occupies 250 centimeter cube at 27 degrees Celsius. What will be its volume at 87 degrees Celsius, assuming pressure remains constant? So the first thing we're seeing about this question is that pressure remains constant. Now, in the gas law, in the topic of gas laws in chemistry, we have three major laws. There are other ones, but there are three. There is the Boyle's law, there is the Charles law, and then there is the combined gas law. Now, one of them that stands out which applies to this question is the Charles law, and I'm going to explain what that means. Charles law states that the volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to its temperature, provided pressure is kept constant. So this is the mathematical expression for the Charles law. Now, in order to turn this variation sign into an equality sign, we need to introduce a constant. So that becomes V is equal to K multiplied by T, or KT. Now, to make this K the subject of the formula, we simply divide both sides by T. So T cancels T over here, and this becomes over T. So therefore, V over T is equal to K. What this means is that the value of V divided by T will always be constant as far as the Charles law is concerned. So that makes V1 all over T1 to be equal to V2 divided by T2, which will be equal to V3 divided by T3, and so on and so forth. So the gas law that applies to this chemical question is the Charles law, which states that V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2. So let's go ahead and apply this equation to this question and see what we're going to arrive at. So V1 here stands for the initial temperature, and sorry, not the initial temperature, the initial volume, I beg your pardon. So the question here says a gas occupies 250 cm cube. So the initial volume is 250 cm cube at 27 degrees Celsius. So the initial temperature stands for T1, and in this case it is 27 degrees Celsius. Now I want to call your attention to something. Whenever we're dealing with concepts like this, we do not leave our temperature in degrees Celsius, we leave it in degrees Kelvin. And in order to convert from degrees Celsius to degree Kelvin, what we do is to add 273. So in this case, we have 27 degrees Celsius. To change it to Kelvin, we say plus 273, which gives us 300 degree Kelvin. So what we have over here is the temperature. The initial temperature is 300 degree Kelvin. I trust you're following each step of the way. The next parameter we were given is, or the next thing we were told is, what will be its volume? So the second or the final volume is unknown, and that's what we're looking for in this question at 87 degrees Celsius. So the final temperature T2 is 87 degrees Celsius. Now to convert this to degrees Kelvin, we add 273, and when we add 273 to 87, it gives us 360 degrees Kelvin. 360 degree Kelvin. So now that we have all our variables, let's impute them into this equation over here and see what we'll arrive at. V1 is 250 divided by T1, which is 300. This is equal to V2 is unknown, divided by T2. What is T2? 360. At this point, we can cross multiply. When we do, it becomes 300 times V2 is equal to 360 multiplied by 250. So let's do a bit of math. If we say 360 multiplied by 250, what we arrive at is 90,000. 90,000, and this remains basically 300 V2. Now, since we're looking for V2, what we do is to divide both sides by the coefficient of V2, which is 300. So this cancels this, and then this cancels this. What we have as V2 is equal to 300 centimeter cube because it is volume. So we have found out and we've calculated what the final volume will be, which is 300 centimeter cube. Now let's do a bit of math to confirm if our answer is correct. Remember, as far as the Charles law is concerned, V1 all over T1 will be equal to V2 over T2. V1 is 250 divided by T1, which is 300. Will it be equal to V2? We've calculated V2 to be 300 as well, and T2 is 360. So let's do a bit of math to see if the two of them will be equal. 250 divided by 300 gives us 0.8333. And then let's check out 300 divided by 360. It also gives us 0.8333. So we can confirm that our answer is very correct because it obeys Charles' law over here. So the final answer is 300 centimeter cube. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this video. It's been a pleasure engaging with you on this space. Do well to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.